In today's English pronunciation lesson, you will learn how to correctly pronounce voiced and voiceless consonant sounds at the end of words. This will help you stop confusing words like advice and advise, and bed and bet, and potentially confusing your listeners. To download your free PDF and audio version of this lesson, just click the link down below in the description. We're going to practice 6 different minimal pairs. We'll start firstly with b and p. B has voice, p has no voice. It's a voiceless sound. It's created by pushing air out of your mouth. Next we have d and t. Make sure that you're not touching the back of your teeth for these sounds. This is very important. In English, what we tend to do is we use the alveolar ridge, which is a little bit further back in the mouth. These are not dental sounds usually, so we don't say do and tu. We say do and tu. Next is g and k. G is made using the back of the tongue, push it up, and then release. G. K is created in the same way, but there's no vibration. It's just air. Next is v and f. These sounds are created by touching your bottom lip using your top teeth. Make sure that you're not biting, otherwise it's going to sound like and that's not a sound we have in English. So make sure that your top teeth are resting just gently on your bottom lip so the air can pass between your teeth and your bottom lip. So, with make sure you're vibrating your vocal cords at the same time. Next is z and s. Z and s. Z is made by vibrating your vocal cords, while s is only with air. The final pair you're going to learn today is ch and j. Ch, j. These are very, very short sounds. Don't confuse these with s and z or sh and y. I purposely haven't included sh and y today because there aren't really any minimal pairs which will cause confusion if you confuse these sounds at the end of the words. However, there are many English words which do end in ch and j, which you may end up causing confusion with if you mix up these two sounds at the end. So the key is to make these sounds very, very quick and very, very short, using what's called the blade of your tongue here. They come up to the alveolar ridge, just past the alveolar into what's called the post-alveolar, and you release the sound there. Ch, j. When it comes to the voiceless plosive sounds, p, t, and k, you'll notice that in English we pronounce them with a lot of air. We call this aspiration. We add this aspiration usually at the start and end of words. For example, in map, you'll notice that I can move the paper with my mouth when I pronounce that final P. Map, map, map. If you're moving the paper, then it means that you're producing the sound correctly. Try it for yourself. Take a piece of paper and repeat. At, at. If you're blowing the paper, even gently, then that means that you're adding enough air. You're adding aspiration. Let's try with a final one. Lock, lock. Wow, that was a strong one. The voiced consonant sounds, however, b, d, and g, don't have as much air when we pronounce them. For example, cub, cup, cub, cup. Notice the paper's moving more when I say the p, the voiceless sound. An interesting thing that happens to voiced consonant sounds at the end of words, and also the beginning of words, is that they become devoiced. In other words, they become a little bit softer, and we don't pronounce them with as much vibration as we would do if they were in the middle of the word. For example, table, bull, b. It's a very, very strong b sound. There's a lot of vibration. However, a word like cub, cub, I'm not pronouncing it with that same level of vibration. I don't say cub, cub. So watch it. This is something that I notice a lot of my learners do. So at the end of words, make sure you just soften those b, d, and g sounds. Now, of course, softening the sound and devoicing them doesn't mean that they turn into the voiceless equivalent. It's not like you're changing cub to cup, because with cup, you have that air and there's no vibration at all. Keep in mind that a lot of voiced consonant sounds in connected speech can change and become voiceless. So for example, a z may become a s and a v may become a f. Let me show you an example of how this happens. Let's take the word of. I'm using the weak form here. The strong form is of. But in a sentence we say of. Now in the sentence, a piece of apple, we keep that v sound, we keep the vibration because the next word starts with a voiced sound. And a little tip for you, all vowels in English are voiced. However, in the sentence, a piece of cheese, we soften that now. It now becomes of cheese. And that's because the next word starts with a voiceless sound, so it makes the transition easier. If you're interested in learning more specifically about this and how sounds at the end of words can change, then take a look at this free video here. I will leave it linked down below in the description for you to check out later. Now we're going to practice with some minimal pairs. Listen carefully and repeat. Cab, cap, cab, cap. Cub, cup, cub, cup. Bed, bet, bed, bet. Code, coat, code, coat. Bag, back, bag, back. Dog, dock, dog, dock. Save, safe, save, safe. Leave, leaf, leave, leaf. Prize, price, prize, price. Advice, advise, advice, advise. If you're not sure about the difference between these two, advice with the C and the S sound is the noun. I want to give you some advice, while advise, Z with the Z sound and the S, is the verb. Can you advise me? Rich, ridge, rich, ridge. Batch, badge, batch, badge. Now it's time for you to practice these words in sentences. Remember, you can also download the free audio version of this lesson so you can listen and practice your pronunciation while on the go. Just click the link down below in the description to download it for free. Let's begin with b and p. Remember, if you need more time, you can pause the video or rewind it at any moment. The cab stopped outside my house. I bought a cap to wear this summer. The cub was playing with its mother. She drank some tea in a small cup. I made my bed before leaving the room. Place your bet on the winning team. The secret code unlocked the door. He hung up his coat on the rack. She packed her bag for the trip. She just got back from the shop. The dog barked all night. The ship is in the dock. How do I save this file on my computer? The jewelry is stored in a safe. Please leave your shoes by the door. A leaf fell from the tree. The prize was a shiny gold medal. The price of the book is too high. He advised me not to go. She gave me some useful advice. The man was rich. He climbed the steep ridge to see the view. I baked a batch of cookies. She pinned a shiny badge to her uniform. And that's it for today's English pronunciation lesson. Remember to download your free PDF version of today's lesson notes, as well as the bonus audio version to listen to this lesson and practice your pronunciation while on the go. The link to download your free PDF and the audio is down below in the description. As well as give this video a like if you've learned something new and it has helped you. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you in the next lesson. Bye bye!